Hello and welcome to this morning's lesson, which is expanding triple brackets. Now, before we have a look at expanding triple brackets, I do want to have a look at expanding brackets, which are two brackets, but one with more than two items in. So, let's have a look at this one first. Remember to get these down in your notes. The title today is expanding triple brackets. So the first thing we're going to do, this is example 1. So here, in example 1, x plus 3, x squared plus x minus 2. Now, to be honest, if you're used to using the grid method, this is not much more of an extension. So all you need to do is make a grid, think about the area, and this time you can have it 2 by 3. So in this case here, we've got 2 over here, which is x and plus 3. And here we've got x squared plus x minus 2. And then remember, this means we've got x plus 3, lots of this. So we're timesing by those. So here we've got x times by x squared, which is x cubed. X times by x, which is x squared. X times by minus 2, which is minus 2x. 3 times by x squared, which is 3x squared, 3 times by x, which is 3x, and 3 times by negative 2, remember a positive times by a negative is a negative value, which is minus 6. Brilliant. Now, you can, if you want, write all of these out, okay, at this stage. You can if you want. However, usually, when we do this, there's a little trick, and you can see that here, when we're simplifying this, you notice that these diagonals are the ones which simplify. So here we've got 3x squared and we've got an x squared. Now remember, these are positive values. I could have positives in front of all of these. Okay, and then here we've got 3x minus 2x, and these are the ones which simplify. So it's worth looping at this stage the ones which simplify, just to save yourself a little bit of hassle. So here we've got this first one, which is x cubed. There's no other x cubed, so we're just going to stick with that one. Here we've got 3x squared plus another x squared, which is equal to 4x squared. And here we've got 3x minus 2x. Now 3x take away 2x is just equal to x, 1x. Okay, remember that we're going to write it as x, but it is 1x. 3x take away 2x is just the x. And then we've got this last one here, which is minus 6. Brilliant. So, that's that question done. Okay. So let's have a look at the next question here. Now, I've said for you to test your understanding on this one. So maybe pause now, have a little go at this one. I am going to go through it in a second. It is a little bit harder, but I think you should be all right with it. So maybe pause now and have a go at that. I'll make it big for you in case you can't see it very well. Okay, I'm going to have a little go at it for you. I'm going to do it down here. I've got space. So this is example 2. Make sure you get it in your notes. Remember, the only way to learn maths is to do it. So here we've got x squared plus 3 times by x squared plus x plus 1. So this is going to be 2 by 3. So let's write it here. 2 by 3. We've got x squared. We've got 3. We've got x squared plus the x plus the 1. And remember, it's going to be x squared plus 3 lots of this. So we're going to times by these. Now, x squared times by x squared. That one is a little bit trickier. I think we should be able to do it. X squared times x squared is x to the power of 4. 3 times by x squared is 3x squared. X squared times by x is equal to x cubed. 3 times by x is 3x. X squared times by 1 is equal to x squared, and 3 times by 1 is 3. Now, looking at this one here, there's only 2 things which we can simplify, and that's because this is the x squared and 3. So, the ones which I can simplify x to the power of 4 with anything? No, I can't, because there's nothing else with x to the power of 4. Can I simplify this x to the 3 with anything? Well, there's nothing else here which is x to the power of 3, so no. But the one thing that I can simplify are these here. 3x squared plus x squared is going to be 4x squared, but I'm going to come back to that in a second because I do want it in order. So the first one here is x to the 4, that one, plus x to the 3, perfect, plus these are the 2 I'm bringing together, 3x squared plus another x squared is equal to 4x squared, plus 3x squared, that one there, plus the 3. It's always worth having it in that order. Okay, let's just check we've got that right. That was a little bit trickier. Brilliant. So, we've done 2 examples. Let's move on now to actually expanding triple brackets. Okay, so let's have a go now. I've got 4 questions here for us to have a go at, and then I've got loads for you to have a go at yourself. So let's have a go at this first one here. Now, this is example 3. Make sure you get it in your notes, because remember, the only way to learn maths is to do it. So, here we've got x plus 2, x plus 5, and x plus 1. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, how do I go about doing that? Now, to be honest, it's not much trickier than any of the techniques you've already done. In fact, you've already done all the techniques that you need to, you've just got to combine them. So, it doesn't matter which order you do this, you can either do these 2 first, and then you've got a quadratic here times by a bracket, or you can do these 2 first, and then you've got this times by this quadratic. It doesn't matter which way round you do, you will get the same answer as long as your methods are correct. I'm going to do this one first, just because it followed a similar pattern to the ones we had here, where we had 1 and then times by another 1, but it doesn't matter which way round you do it. So, let's expand this first, and then we're going to come back to this. So when we're expanding this first bracket, it's going to be 2 by 2, so it's going to be x and 5, and x and 1, so that's plus 1, that's plus 5. So x times x is x squared, x times 5 is 5x, 1 times x is just x, and 1 times 5 is 5. Now remember, with these, the ones you can bring together are these diagonals here. So it's going to be x and 5x, but I'm going to leave that and come back to it in a second. We could have wrote that out if we wanted to. I've just decided to simplify it in there, and then bringing these together, because these are x and not x squareds, or just a number on its own. So this one's going to be x squared, 5x plus x is 6x, and then plus the 5. Remember, we're still timesing by this one over here, so it's going to be x plus 2 there, like so. So we've expanded that first one, and now we're expanding that second one. So here, we're going to do this. Remember, this is 2 by 3. It's like very similar to the ones we've just done. So it's going to be x plus 2, x squared, plus 6x, plus 5. So x times x squared is x cubed. 2 times x squared is 2x squared. X times 6x is 6x squared. 2 times 6x is 12x. X times by 5 is 5x, and 2 times by 5 is 10. Now, with this one here, we do notice that the diagonals are the same term, so x squared and just x is on its own, so I'm going to circle those ones there, because these are going to be the ones that I simplify. So my first one is x cubed. 2x squared plus 6x squared is equal to 8x squared. 12x plus 5x is equal to 17x. And the last one is just the 10 over there. And that's it. We've expanded the brackets. We've got rid of those brackets. Brilliant. So that was example 3. We've got 3 more examples. So the question is, why have I put this next example on there? What's getting a little bit harder about this? Now, it's always the way, isn't it? What's going to make a question a little bit harder? We know that it's the negative values. We always find negatives tricky, and we've got 2 things we're doing here. We're multiplying negatives and we're adding and subtracting them. When we're multiplying negatives, be careful. Make sure you're checking whether one's positive and one's negative. And remember, when we're adding and subtracting negatives, it's about where am I starting, what am I doing? Where am I starting, what am I doing? So, this one here is example 4. Let's write it down. X minus 2, x minus 3, x minus 1. I'm going to do this one here first. So 2 by 2, x minus 3, x minus 1. So x times by x is x squared. X times by minus 3 is minus 3x. Minus 1 times by x is minus x. Be careful with that one, it's a tricky one, yeah? And minus 1 times by minus 3, now we'd be careful, we said we've got to deal with these negatives. Negative 1 times by negative 3 is positive 3, which is there. So we've got here x times by minus 3, which is minus 3x. Minus 1 times x, which is minus x. Now we need to simplify this. So we're going to simplify these ones here. So we've got x squared there, like so. Now remember, when I'm adding and subtracting negatives, it's about where am I starting and what am I doing. So here I'm starting at negative 1x, remember, and I'm taking away another 3. So minus 1, take away another 3 is minus 4x. Okay, so this one here is minus 4x. And then the last part here is the plus 3, not forgetting that I still need to times by this x minus 2. So now when I'm doing this, I'm going to have a 2 by 3. So here, x minus 2. And then it's going to be x squared minus 4x and plus 3. So this one's here is a little bit trickier because we've got the negatives, we've got squareds, we've got, we're timesing through by all of these, but first one, x times x squared is going to be equal to x cubed. Minus 2 times x squared is minus 2x squared. X times minus 4x is minus 4x squared. Minus 2 times minus 4, notice how I'm saying it like that because I'm thinking about it already. Negative 2 times by negative 4 is positive 8. So positive 8x. X times by 3 is 3x. And minus 2 times positive 3 is minus 6. Negative times a positive is a negative. So next up, we need to add these together. Now, which ones are my terms? Now, I always check the diagonals because usually it is them. It's not always the case. We saw that before, but in this case it is again. So these two here, like so. These two here, like so. So my first one is x cubed. Now remember, where am I starting? What am I doing? Well, I'm starting at minus 2. And then I'm taking away another 4. So, minus 2, take away another 4, start at minus 2, take away 4 is minus 6x squared. Minus 6x squared. These are both positive, so 8 plus 3 is plus 11x. And then I've got this minus 6 at the end, and that's that one done. So that was example 4. 2 more to go. Remember to make sure you're getting them in your notes. The only way to learn maths is to do it. So, example 5 now. So we've got x minus 1 all squared this time times by 4x minus 4. So, we've got one which is a little bit trickier here. So why is this one a little bit trickier? Well, it's a little bit trickier because we've got this x squared here. So when I'm dealing with this, I've got this x squared now. Some people get confused and think they should square the first one and square the second one, but actually, when I'm squaring this, I need to square all of this. So this here, and it's worth writing this out to show the examiner you understand, means x minus 1 times by x minus 1 times by this 4x minus 4, like so. So it's that bracket times by itself. And then you just follow exactly the same steps. So I'm going to do this one here first. This one here is going to be 2 by 2. X minus 1, 4x minus 4. X times by 4x is 4x squared. X times by minus 4 is minus 4x. Minus 1 times by minus 4 is minus 4x. And minus 1 times by minus 4 is positive. Negative times by negative is a positive 4 there. Brilliant. Just checking that that's right. So x times by, yeah, that's right. X times by minus 4 is minus 4x. Minus 1 times by 4x is minus 4x. Yes, we're good. So now we need to simplify. Check the diagonals. The diagonals do simplify because they're both only in terms of x. So this first one here is going to be 4x squared. Remember, where am I starting? What am I doing? Minus 4x. Take away another 4. So I'm starting at minus 4. Take away another 4, which is minus 5, minus 6, minus 7, minus 8. So minus 8x. And then plus 4 at the end. Remember, I'm still timesing by that x minus 1. Like so. So next stage, we need to make sure that we are timesing. This is going to be a 2 by 3. So x minus 1, 4x squared minus 8x plus 4. So x times by 4x squared is equal to 4x cubed. Minus 1 times by 4x squared is minus 4x squared. X times by minus 8x is minus 8x squared. Minus 1 times by minus 8, remember I'm thinking about that. Minus 1 times by minus 8 is positive 8x. X times by 4 is 4x, and minus 1 times by positive 4, negative times a positive is a negative, so that's going to be minus 4 there, like so. Check the diagonals. Yes, the diagonals, x squared, x, and x, so they're the ones that simplify. Remember, if the diagonals don't simplify, it's worth checking the other ones as well to see whether they simplify. So it's going to be 4x cubed, the first one, minus 4, subtract the 8, so starting at minus 4, taking away another 8, so that's going to be minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7, minus 8, minus 9, minus 10, minus 11, minus 12. So minus 12x squared. 8x plus 4x is equal to 12x, and then the minus 4 at the end. Brilliant. And that's that one done. One more little question. Example 5. I know these questions take a little bit longer than usual. Okay. If you want to have a go at this yourself now, pause it if you feel as if you're confident enough. I'm going to quickly go through it. I think we should be able to do this by now. I think we should understand what it means. So here, example 6. I've got x minus 4 all cubed. Now what does that cubed mean? Cubed means times by itself 4 times. So this means x minus 4 times by x minus 4 times by x minus 4. It doesn't mean x cubed times by minus 4 cubed. It doesn't mean x cubed minus, what am I doing there? 4 times 4, minus 64. Okay, it doesn't mean that. It does mean this. Okay, so let's do this first one here. X minus 4, x minus 4. Remember, we were doing these two here. Just make it really clear with this one. These are the two I'm doing first. So x times by x is x squared. X times by minus 4 is minus 4x. Minus 4 times my x is minus 4x. And minus 4 times minus 4 is positive 16. Check the diagonals. Do these diagonals simplify? Yes, they do. So I end up with x squared minus 4 take away 8. Sorry, minus 4 take away 4 is minus 8x plus the 16. Remember, I'm still timesing by this minus 4x here. This one here is going to be a 2 by 3. So x minus 4, x squared minus 8x plus 16. X times by x squared is x cubed. Minus 4 times x squared is minus 4x squared. X times by minus 8 is minus 8x squared. Minus 4 times by minus 8x, be careful with that, negative times a negative is a positive value. So minus 4 times by minus 8, what's that? 8, 16, 24, 32, positive 32 x. X times by 16 is 16x, and minus 4 times by 16 is minus 64. You can do that on the side if you want. I managed to do that on my head. Let's check the diagonals. Yes, these ones simplify. Yes, these ones simplify. So we're finishing off this now. We've got x cubed minus 4x take away 8x is minus 12x squared. 32x plus 16. Well, let's do that on the side just to make sure I get it right. I think I will, but let's do it anyway. 2 plus 6 is equal to 8. 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. Brilliant. So that's going to be plus 48x. Last one, minus 64. And that was that one. Done. Brilliant. So, let's have a little go at some of these questions yourself. So let's put the next ones up. Here's some questions for you to have a go at. I will make these big for you. There you go. Pause now and have a go at those some questions. They do get gradually harder. So pause now and have a go at those. So I'll pop these answers up now. Here's the answers. Make sure you're marking these in green. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this video on expanding triple brackets. Remember to make sure you're having a go at these questions because the only way to learn maths is to do it, and have a wonderful day.